The title is Student with Autism Faces 30 Years in Prison for Attack on Flagler County's Teacher's Aide. It upsets me a lot that this happened, just because it just seems to me that the right people were not in place to help this young man. He was at public school, and it is not no teacher's aide job to be a behavioral therapist. It's just not her job, not a teacher's aide job. And that's what she was doing. That's what she was doing in that moment. She didn't know what she was doing. 5 years is a long time to be in an institution that is not well equipped to handle your disability and your support needs. That's a long time to be somewhere. So the autistic person in me and the mom in me, the mom with an autistic son, I want to say that's not fair. I want to say that's not fair, and he shouldn't be in prison. I can't imagine, as an autistic person, I can't go to jail. That's why I be biting my tongue. Listen, I don't cause no problems, because I can't do it. I can't go to jail. The lights are too loud, people too loud. No sound insulation is crazy. Everything. You hit a man down the 3 blocks from you taking a poopy. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of my podcast, Just Shay and Friends. Today's topic is from a news article that I found. The title is Student with Autism Faces 30 Years in Prison for Attack on Flagler County's Teacher's Aide. I saw it initially on Instagram. I saw the video a while ago, some months ago, and then the other day when I was on a live stream on TikTok, somebody mentioned it and asked me what did I think about it. So I didn't have enough information then, so I went into research mode. Okay, I got more information, so now I want to talk about it. But before I do that, announcements. I know it's been a while since I've done a podcast, experiencing some kind of block, some kind of creative block where I cannot find ideas for the podcast. So please, if you guys have questions, comments, anything you want me to talk about, tell me about it, please, in the comments. If you have questions about your autistic kids, if you have questions about your own autism, I'm here for you, okay? What I'm going to do is if I don't know the answer, I'm going to find it, okay? I'm going to find it, because one thing I love is research. So if y'all have any of that, please put it in the comments. Thank you so much, and please do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share with your friends if you like this content. Now that I got that out the way, let's go to this article. I found this article with just a little Google search. I just typed in autistic boy and attack on teacher. I just typed that in and so much popped up. Okay, it's all over the news. It's a hot topic. So much popped up. So this is from abcactionnews.com. Actually, I'm going to put this article in the description for y'all to look at later, but I'm gonna read it to you. You ain't gotta look if you don't want to. But so, like I said, the title is Student with Autism Faces 30 Years in Prison for Attack on Flagler County's Teacher's Aide. In the article, there is a video. In viewer discretion need to be advised, okay? But yeah, the video's there for you to watch. So Brendan is his name. It says, the report says that Brendan became verbally aggressive towards Miss Joan, who is the teacher's aide, when they were discussing Brendan using his Nintendo Switch. So let me set the scene here. He's at school. I failed to mention. He's at school. And the teacher's aide, Miss Joan, noticed that he had his Switch. And it's not allowed because he's at school. He's in class. It's not allowed. So she said something to him, and he became verbally aggressive towards her about the Switch. It says, and this is quotations, he then began calling her names and cursing at her. And when she attempted to leave the room, he got in her face and spit in her face. Then Brendan pushed her down and she fell unconscious. And then that's when the attack pursued. Like he did more damage after she was unconscious, is basically. I'm not going to read all the rest of it, but I have a lot of problems with this entire situation. But my main issue is that, is this school a place that he should have been in the first place? Were they well equipped to even handle him? Were they? I don't know, because in my research I found that this young man not only has autism, he has numerous disabilities, numerous that have been diagnosed. For example, okay, he has autism spectrum disorder, sensory disorder, behavioral impulse control disorder, mood disorder, and ADHD. Is a teacher's aide equipped to handle that situation? When I was on my live stream, I pretty much said I have so many questions, and I see so much wrong with this. Is that with all these disabilities, should he have been in a place better equipped to handle his disabilities? Yes, he should have been. He was in public school. As far as I know, this is public school. Let me look it up again. Let me make sure I got my facts straight, because I think it's public school. Flagler County, Montana's High School. Let's see if it's a public school. Montana's High School. Public? Question mark? Montana's High School is a public high school. So yeah, he's in public school. A public school, in my opinion, is not well equipped to handle situations of this sort. Not at all. Okay, because first of all, Miss Joan, she was a teacher's aide. She wasn't a behavioral therapist. She wasn't a, you see where I'm going with this? So that's my first problem that I have with this. And then I called my sister, because my sister is a behavior therapist. She's one of them acronyms, okay? She had ABA, BCD, EFG. She one of them. So I called her, okay? And here's what she had to say about it. She said, in her opinion, her professional opinion at that, because she's a professional. She said, in her opinion, the aide was not well equipped to handle the situation. She said that she felt that the aide was set up for failure. For the entire situation to fail. Because first of all, a thing that I failed to mention is that the parents, his mother, actually knew that he had issues with aggression, that any of his electronics is something like a trigger to him. If you try to take it from him or tell him to put it away or anything like that, he gets aggressive. His mother knew that. And it actually says here that his mom was aware that the electronics was a trigger. And in his school IEP, we stated that. So they already told the school this. They already told the school that he had these issues with aggression and that the electronics was a trigger for him. And that's what she said. She said, we told the school that it could result in him acting out physically. This is in the article, okay? I'm not making it up. They knew already. They knew. So, my problem is knowing this was a problem with aggression. Should he have been in school? Listen, it's a lot you got to unravel with this, because if he ain't in public school, then where he going to go to learn? You know? And it's not like these people are rich, okay? Because he lives in a group home. He lives in a group home. About to look another fact up, because I don't want to say nothing unless I know for real. But group homes funding. Group homes are funded by the government, etc. You have to get like grants and such. In Virginia anyways. Yes. Group homes are funded by the government. So, with that being said, is the government going to pay for him to go to a private school or a school for autistic kids that are better able to handle it? I don't know. I don't think so. But let's go back to what my sister said. Oh, she said there are no ABA therapists in public schools at all. That's what my sister said. And I looked it up and she's right. They don't have them in there. They might, in a special needs program, have a speech therapist, a OC therapist. Is it OC? Occupational therapist? OT? Whatever the acronym is, they might have that. But they don't have any ABA therapists, no applied behavioral analysis therapists in public schools. And that's what he needs. That's what he needs to help him through those moments. She also further went on to say, if he were in a center when this had happened, a center meaning like a behavioral therapy center where they have all the ABA, EBCDFG therapists in there. If he were in a center when this had happened, the center would have been able to let his meltdown happen and just like play out. They would have been able to do that because they are experienced, and they would have been able to work with him through it, and eventually, slowly but surely, it wouldn't have happened overnight. Eventually they would get to the point where they can say, hey, Brendan, it's time to put the switch away. Let's put it away. And he would do it with no meltdown. He would have eventually been able to do that with the experienced ABA therapist helping him. But he didn't have that in the school there. She said that there's a whole process that they go through, which I just explained. There's a whole process that they go through to work on desired items as a trigger. And you can't just jump in and confiscate it. So they have to go through a whole step-by-step process. And it does not happen in one day or in one incident. So that was the issue with that exchange. And I'm not placing blame on nobody. This is straight up facts. This is straight up facts. I'm not placing blame. Don't nobody need to be blamed for anything. Okay? But in my opinion, Miss Joan, the teacher's aide, she shouldn't have been there. I'm sorry. She shouldn't have been there. And let alone alone. Well, it don't really say that she was alone, but I looked up and through this article. It doesn't mention another teacher that was in the room. It doesn't mention it. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go and watch this video again against my better judgment to just make sure I have all the facts. Let's see. Definitely not putting it on my podcast though. Interesting. So the video on the article that I mentioned, it actually shows a wider view than the one that I saw on Instagram. So that was an eye opener. So maybe you should watch the video. But hey, viewer discretion is advised, okay? But now that I see this wide angle, I see this looks like a library or something. So they're in the school, in the library or wherever they are. But it's open space is what I'm saying. He wasn't in a classroom setting where they were like behind, closed door and desk situation. It looked like a library. It was a wide open space. And at first you only see her in the video, and then you see him come into the video, and then other people rush in to help. So where were these other people? I don't know. When she first started to interact with him, I don't think she should have interacted with him in that way without assistance, because she didn't know what she was doing. So that is my opinion. She should not have interacted with him without, the proper training. Like, nobody should be doing that. And that's why I get so upset when I think about, how sometimes police deal with people with autism and they're just not fully trained. There's not enough training going around. And I mean, kids don't have their ABA therapists walking around with them, especially when they become adults like this. Like, they don't have somebody walking around with them, no, I got it, police officer, this is that, So things like this can happen in a flash if you do not know what you're doing or how to deal with the situation. So it upsets me a lot that this happened, just because it just seems to me that the right people were not in place to help this young man. He was at public school, and it is not no teacher's aide job to be a behavioral therapist. It's just not her job, not a teacher's aide job. And that's what she was doing. That's what she was doing in that moment. She didn't know what she was doing. My opinion, okay? Don't come for me. All right? And my sister said it too. And this is nothing against Ms. Jones. It's just that the system is in place for set everybody up for failure right now. That's how it is, okay? Public school ain't all it. It ain't all it. I'm not saying it's all bad, but like some kids need a special school. And this is a prime example. He needed special school. So the teacher suffered a lot of injuries from the attack. 5 broken ribs, a concussion, hearing and sight loss, and PTSD. So all that happened. So with all that information, it actually shows, let me go back and look at what the actual final verdict of the sentencing is. My neighbor over here with this motorcycle. Go sit down somewhere, sir. And this gets so deep, y'all. I'm telling you, this get deep. All right. Hold on. Okie doke. I found another updated article on what happened after the sentencing. I am copying and pasting right now so I can remember to. Okay, boom. So I found a second article, a more updated one. I am going to put that one in the description as well. All right. Now this article was posted August the 8th, 2024. So updated. Okay, last week. So it says Florida student with autism sentenced to 5 years in prison. The last one said 30. Oh my gosh, that he could face 30. So he was sentenced to 5 years in prison after attacking teacher's aide. So at the time he was 17 years old, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison, followed by 15 years of supervised probation. So that's the verdict. That's what happened. And the question was, the person in my live stream asked was, did I agree with that sentencing? 5 years is a long time to be in an institution that is not well equipped to handle your disability and your support needs. That's a long time to be somewhere. So the autistic person in me and the mom in me, the mom with an autistic son, I want to say that's not fair. And he shouldn't be in prison. And 5 years is too long. I want to say that. But after watching that video, if he wasn't autistic, would he have gotten 5 years? And I want to put in words like just. Would he have gotten just? I want to put in those words. But would he have gotten 5 years if he wasn't autistic and had these disabilities? I don't know. You tell me in the comments what y'all think. You think he would have got more if he wasn't autistic? My opinion is he probably would have. Because the attack, I mean, come on. So taking that into consideration, is 5 years too much? Maybe not. I think it's fair according to the law of that state. I think it's fair. Because unfortunately, although he is autistic and does have all these other disabilities, he did the deed, okay? He laid the hands, okay? He gave the skibbity paps, okay? He ran the fade, as the kids be saying. I just learned that new phrase. He ran a fade, okay? He did that. And autistic or not, even people with disabilities have to be punished by the law when stuff like that happens. Just like, remember that video I did of the boy that pushed down the TVs? Okay, he was a little boy, like 8 or 9 years old. So, he can't be like treated as an adult, obviously. But the parents had to pay for that because it's law. It's law. Your child breaks stuff, you got to pay for it. It's law. So the law don't be caring that people are autistic. They don't care. And in with the criminals, you go. In with them. Go in there. It's a lot of people in prison that have mental disabilities, mental health disabilities, all kinds of stuff, okay? It's full of them. Okay? So I did a little AI search. I'm telling you right now, look at this. You're going to be like, what? I did a little AI search, okay? And I typed in, do people with disabilities go to prison? I typed that in. I knew the answer, but I just wanted to see what Google had to say. So Google popped up the little AI thing and said, some say that prisons are often ill-equipped to handle the influx of people with disabilities. What's an influx? I kind of know what it means, but I want to be sure. So that means an inflow. Not that one. That ain't good. An arrival or entry or of large numbers of people or things. An arrival or entry of large numbers of people or things. That's what an influx is, i.e. a massive influx of tourists. So just a lot of people. Mad people with disabilities in prison, okay? So that's what they said. Some say that prisons are often ill-equipped to handle the influx of people with disabilities, and that prison conditions can put people with disabilities at risk of harm. For example, prisons may keep people in segregation. The people with disabilities, they may be kept in segregation. Why I can't talk today? I'm sure it's these rubber bands. But anyways, they may be kept in segregation simply because nobody is well equipped to handle their special needs, okay? And segregation can have a negative impact on their mental health, even more so than they're probably already going through. They may also have poor sound insulation. Prisons have poor sound insulation. Prisons have poor sound insulation, meaning that you can be in your cell and hear literally everything going on in the hundreds or thousands of other cells around you. And from watching TV, them people in prison never be quiet. They never shut up. Every show I see on TV, every prison show, jail show, I be watching 60 Days In. You know what I'm saying? That's my show. They ain't never quiet. It's always loud in there. Always. I cannot imagine. Is the prison going to give him headphones? Like, you know, the soundproofing headphones? Probably not. Probably not. I can't imagine. As an autistic person, I can't go to jail. That's why I don't look. That's why I be biting my tongue. Listen, I don't cause no problems because I can't do it. I can't go to jail. Okay? The lights be buzzing. The lights are too loud. The people too loud. No sound insulation is crazy. No sound, none. No sound insulation. You hear everything. You hit a man down the 3 blocks from you taking a poopy. Imagine you trying to sleep and you hear. I'll lose it. All jokes to the left. All jokes to the left. Mental health going down. You come out worse than you went in if you come out. So, oh my gosh. And it says here that they keep the lights on 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day. OMG. You know, I turn on my lights in my office here so that I can do podcasts. So, I mean, y'all need to see my face. But for the most part, I walk around in darkness. Because if I do sit under lights for more than, I want to say 4 hours, I'm giving myself some grace. Because I think I could do it for longer than an hour. I was about to say an hour. But I want to say if I do sit under lights for more than 4 hours, I am having a migraine at the end of the day. I'm having a migraine. And I got to pop Tylenol. I be, because my head be hurting because of the lights are too bright. I cannot imagine 24 hours a day with this light. And there's nothing you can do about it. Honey. So in my opinion, should he be in prison? No. That's my opinion. He shouldn't be in prison. But what's the alternative? Is there one? I mean, I know they have the psychiatric, like, prison places. What are they even called? Let me look it up. I forgot to give you guys the statistics. I'm all over the place. Excuse me, okay? I forgot to give y'all the statistics. So, the little AI thing. It said that the American Psychological Association reported that 64% of individuals in prison or jail have mental health issues or they have disabilities. 64%! 64% is a lot. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. But I found another article too. I did a search and I asked Google. I pretty much typed in alternatives to prison for people with disabilities, special needs, mental health issues. I typed that in. First is saying there's specialized police responses, teams that include people that are trained to deal with severe mental illnesses in a time of crisis. They're trained to deal with that. So there are some of them that, you know, I guess a regular police officer can call and be like, hey, we have a person with a disability here or a mental health problem here and we need your expertise. So there's that. Number 2, jail diversion. Pretty much a treatment program that keep them out of going to jail. Pretty much. Specialized courts. They have special courts for people with disabilities and mental health issues, mental illnesses. And then last, a community reentry planning program for people that have been incarcerated and are coming out. I don't see nothing here that says there's a special prison. I don't see nothing here that says there's a special prison filled with people, COs, nurses, I don't know what they call bailiffs, all the people, filled with people that are trained to deal with these things. I don't see nothing here that says that. So with that information that I have there, I'm going to say that, I mean, should he be in prison? No. But what's the alternative? What's the alternative? So, unfortunately, according to the law, he has to be punished for what he did. And Miss Joan, deserves the justice. I mean, she was attacked. She was attacked. So something had to happen according to the law, and there's not a better alternative. So I don't agree with it, but I mean, as a whole system, like obviously the system is flawed. We can see that the system is flawed for people with disabilities. And you could just be like, you can say, just like, don't break the law. Then, you see it's odds are stacked up against you, just don't break the law. But when you have, hold on, because let me read it off verbatim. When you have, so somebody like me, I can be self-aware and stop myself at times when I'm doing things that are may or may not be impulsive and may get me in trouble. I can. But I don't have behavioral impulse control disorder or mood disorder. I do have ADHD and autism spectrum disorder. But you see my point. You see my point. You see what I'm saying? His mother also said that she told the group home that she didn't think he should go to public school. And the first, she had her concerns because even she could not take the switch from him. Even she could not. And she was told that if she had any issues with him to just call the police. It's from the article. She was told. When she mentioned it to the group home, they was just like, all right, if he, act out, if he get aggressive with you, just call the police. And then when she said she doesn't think he should go to school because of the issues, aggressive behavior that she's seeing, they said, well, he got to go to school. He'll be fine. Send him to school. So much wrong with it. When I was in my live stream, I was like, I see so much wrong with this, but the system is not set up in a way that this young man can thrive and be successful, unfortunately. Not in a group home, not without more funding for private schools, for, I know for a fact his mom is doing everything she can. Like, she seemed like a nice lady and that she's working hard, doing what she can with what she got. She seemed like she is. But if they don't have the funding for private schools or for him to go to a school for autistic kids that have the ABA therapists there, that have the whoever, the ABCDFGs, the RBTs, the ABAs, all of them. They probably have all of it there. And those people are more well equipped to handle the situation. So if they don't have the funding to do that, then my sister is right. They were set up for failure. Set up. But unfortunately, the system. And it's sad. So that is my opinion on that. Okay? And I'm going to keep saying my disclaimer is just my opinion. I'm not pointing any blame. I'm just talking about it. And I'm giving y'all all the facts too. Y'all see. Look in the article. I'm saying what the article said, okay? I'm saying what the article said. So don't go as Shay said. Hey, but on the other hand, I said what I said. And I'm not taking it back. Okay? So if you did get offended, I said what I said. So that's that. Please, if you like this content, please watch the next video over here. Please watch the next video over here. And like I said, if y'all have anything y'all want me to talk about, put it in the comments. Thank you again for watching. Okay, bye.